8 cars, 6 laps of distance, the first of 2 heat races for your IMCA Murder Hornet Sport Compacts. From Chief Starter Lane Pugh over the Receiver Race Radio, we're going to be going green this next time by. For those that don't know, the Receiver is a one-way communication system where the officials can talk to the driver, but the drivers cannot talk back, which is probably a good thing because that would get the drivers in trouble. As they come out of turn number 4, Lane Pugh looks them over. We're green with the first heat of the night. Kane the man of Malberg takes it 3 wide for the lead. Tyler Feeblecorn now going 3 wide. Oh, and the 18R of Justin Reed, every which way but straight. But right now, it's Kane the man of Malberg. Oh, looks in second place. Trying to see who that is, but somebody else also off the pace. Kane Malberg now off to a huge lead. It's going to be Anthony Clark second, Tyler Feeblecorn third, Mark Lamer fourth, and the 18R, Justin Reed in fifth. And it is going to be the 18 of Dave Malberg, who unfortunately is coming to a stop on the front stretch, and caution's going to come out. And since we are 5 laps to go, we will be going single file restart. Lane Pugh looks him over and drops the green again. Kane Malberg going to lead him down into turn number 1. Anthony Clark in second. Feeblecorn under pressure from the 19X of Evan Rabick, who is now in fourth as Mark Lamer washes up and goes to fifth. Lamer now in danger of losing that 6th place spot to Justin Reed. But right now, Kane Malberg with the lead. 4 laps to go at this time by. Meanwhile, Evan Rabick giving a bump draft all the way down the front stretch to the 61 of Feeblecorn. Oh, contact! Rabick and Feeblecorn. Feeblecorn able to gather it back up. Rabick backs off the gas. Let's Feeblecorn gather it back up. Feeblecorn will remain in that 3rd place spot. We're going to be halfway home. 3 down, 3 to go this time by. It's still Malberg, Clark, Feeblecorn, Rabick, and now the 18R of Justin Reed back into that top 5 as he was our pole setter to start the night. Mark Lamer now trying to challenge for that 5th place spot as he is caught up to the back bumper of the 18R of Justin Reed. That appears to be the only possible battle on the track right now, as Anthony Clark just cannot quite seem to catch up to the back bumper of Malberg. Now it looks like Lamer loses a little bit of ground to Justin Reed. White flag will be coming out for Kane Malberg this time by. 1 lap to go around the big 4/10 mile Shelby County Speedway as Malberg sails it down into 1 and 2. Running the same line he's been running all night. He's going to take it out 2, firing it down the back stretch. Into 3 and 4 one last time. Ladies and gentlemen, your winner of heat race number 1 for your IMCA Murder Hornet Sport Compacts, Caden the Man of Malberg. Anthony Clark in second. Third's going to go to Tyler Feeblecorn, 4th to Evan Rabick, and Justin Reed will round out the top 5. Your final row rounding out the field is going to be the 35C of Cody Cooper and the 22 of Tim Cood. I apologize if I'm mispronouncing the last name. It's C-U-D-E, so I'm going to say it's Cood, but it could be Coody. I'm not sure. If I get told that I'm wrong, I will correct it, I promise. Just take it easy on the old announcer here, folks. RPMs come up, and we're green with our second and final heat race in the compacts. And it's going to be Chris LaFoy with the event. It's going down in turn number 1 as he powers by the 21 Emma Gossage. That's going to open the door for the 4 of Kanan. Kanan now up into second. But hold on. Here comes Gossage. Gossage trying to mount a charge back on the inside. Nothing shaking, bacon. Meanwhile, the 22 of Tim Cootie was up in the third, but now loses that third place spot to Curtis Miller. Cootie, his trunk lid barely hanging on. That could become a projectile if it's not watched. Right now it is Chris LaFoy, David Kanan in second, Cullen Gossage third, Curtis Miller fourth, and now Cody Cooper checks into the top five as he'll get around Tim Cootie for that fifth place spot. Once again, Cootie's trunk lid barely hanging on. As he loses another spot to the 28 of Trent Reed. Almost a little contact between Cootie and Reed. T13 of Braxton Wallace rounding out the field. Halfway home, 3 down, 3 to go. A much cleaner and greener heat race than the first one. Once again, Chris LaFoy with a sizable advantage over David Kanan. Kanan now starting to feel a little bit of pressure from the 4:11 of Curtis Miller. 2 laps to go. That appears to be the only possible battle going on right now is the 4:11. Miller bobbles just a little bit. Loses a little bit of ground to Kanan. Can he make that ground back up and potentially make a charge as they're going to come through 3 and 4 to see the laundry in the air, the white sheet out, 1 lap to go. Chris LaFoy just putting a hurting on him right now as he sails it down the backstretch into turn number 3. Yeah, he's going to go into 4 as he comes out. It is going to be all the 55 Chris LaFoy picking up the heat race win. David Kanan second, Curtis Miller third, Cody Cooper fourth, and the pole sitter Cullen Gossage will round out the top 5. Row number 4 to the inside, the 49 of Jeff Atkins, into the outside, the 7 of Tyson Partridge. And rounding out the field for Motorbolt, that's the 12 of Clayton Modernock. Once again, 9 cars, 8 laps the distance. First of 2 heat races in your IMCA stock cars, presented by Pizza Ranch here in Harlan.
8 laps for these 9 cars. So we're looking for green.
As they come out of 4, Lane Pugh drops the green. We're racing. And it's going to be Tony Ritterbush out to the early advantage. Trent rolled. They're 3 wide. Wow, Trent rolled bobbles as they're 3 wide. And it's going to be Cade the Kid Richards with the advantage coming out of 2 as they headed down the back stretch and into 3 and 4. Richards now with a bit of a lead, but he's not only got Ritterbush, he's got Nichols now in second. Richards leads lap number 1. Nichols to the inside. Now Nichols trying to get by Richards. Richards battling back on the outside. They're side by side coming out of 2. Side by side down the backstretch and heading into turn number 3. Richards trying desperately to hang on to that lead. At the line, it was Nichols by a nose. Meanwhile, coming out of 4, Trent rolled now spins. He'll get refired going, and we are going to stay green. Meanwhile, up front, new leader Nichols. Mike Nichols now with the lead. Cade the Kid Richards in second. Tony Ritterbush third. Mike Harris in 4th. Correct. And now down in Dirty Dusty Van Horn. Van Horn now trying to find his way in. Meanwhile, Clayton Modernock coming out of 4 spins. He's not going to get refired. Caution will be out. So we're going to see who is going to pick up the heat race victory. Can the 7-time national champ do it? Or can the kid pick up the heat race victory? We're going to find out. Green is back out. We're racing. And it is Nichols with a great jump off the start. Richards now snugs back up on the back bumper, going into 2. Coming out of 2, he loses a little bit of ground. Meanwhile, Dusty Van Horn now passes Ritterbusch for 3rd. Mike Harris still sitting in that 5th place spot, but now Mike Harris trying to get underneath the 0-2 of Ritterbusch. 2 laps to go for Mike Nichols. Dusty Van Horn now knocking on the rear bumper of the 1R of Richards. It is Nichols, Richards, Van Horn, Harris, and Ritterbusch as they come through 3 and 4. They'll be coming out to see the white flag this time by Richards trying to mount a charge. He gets to the rear bumper of the net of 7-time. Can't get it done. Ritterbusch keeping Nichols honest, not letting him get away. As they're going to sail it through 3 and 4 one more time. Richards not going to be able to do it. Mike Nichols is going to take home the heat race victory. Cade Richards 2nd. Dusty Van Horn 3rd. Mike Harris 4th. And Tony Ritterbusch will round out your top 5. Row number 3 to the inside. That's going to be the 10X of Keith Knopp. And to the outside, scheduled to be the 1S of Scott Carlson, but it looks like Scott opting to start in the back. So that'll move the 76 of Trent Partridge up to the outside row number 3. And rounding out the field is going to be the 8 of Corey Stapleton. And then the aforementioned Scott Carlson, Pork Chop as they used to call him back in the modified days, in the 1S. RPMs come up. We're back to green with the stock cars. And it's going to be Zimmerman and Steyer beating on each other down in turn number 1. That's going to open the door for Flying Brian Blessington. He is going to jump into the lead. Meanwhile, the 10X of Keith Knopp now trying to get by Zimmerman, for a second. He is going to get it done. It is going to be Blessington, Knopp, Steyer, Zimmerman, and Mike Stapleton, your top 5. Corey Stapleton now doing battle with Trent Partridge as your battle for 6th and 7th. Meanwhile, up front, Keith Knopp keeping Brian Blessington honest. Blessington able to keep just a little bit of a lead. Meanwhile, Corey Stapleton now checks himself into the top 5 as he is going to pass Nick Steyer. Now he's going to come up on the battle between Paul Zimmerman and his dad, Mike Stapleton. Zimmerman going to take over 3rd. It's a dad and lad show. Corey now trying to get under, as he calls him, the old man. They're side by side. Corey Stapleton with a slide advantage as they head down into turn number 3. We're going to be seeing cross flags this time by. 4 down, 4 to go for Brian Blessington. Meanwhile, Corey Stapleton not able to get by his dad, Mike, on the low side. Now he's going to try on the high side. Not going to work. Mike Stapleton now gapping his son, Corey, as they are still behind the 77Z of Paul Zimmerman. Up front is still Flying Brian Blessington. Keith Knopp right on his back bumper. Then it's a little ways back to Paul Zimmerman and the Stapletons, Mike and Corey respectively in 3rd, 4th, and 5th. Green flag is going to be in the air for 2 laps to go this time by. Keith Knopp's going to try to get to the inside of Blessington. Not quite going to do it. Blessington still leads. Knopp in 2nd, 2 laps to go as they sail it off into turn number 1 and 2. Knopp losing a little bit of ground, but can he possibly be setting up Blessington for another charge as he's going to drive it deep into 3 and 4. He'll snug back up on the rear bumper of the purple and green racing machine. Wide flag is out, 1 lap to go. 0.4 of a mile for Brian Blessington. Meanwhile, the Sablins are right back at it. Little shot in the shorts from son to father. Meanwhile, through 3 and 4 one more time. Keith Knopp not going to do it. Flying Brian Blessington is going to win heat race number 2. Keith Knopp second. Paul Zimmerman in third at the line. Ow! Almost too close to call, but I do believe Corey Stapleton with the heat race, with fourth place, moving his dad back to fifth. What a battle at the line.
Mike Stapleton. Who you riding with? Let's wave these guys on. Make some noise, stomp your feet, wave your hats.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Shelby County Speedway here in Harlan. Your first day feature of the night. Your IMCA Sport Compacts are on the pole, or on the track. On the pole, the 18R Justin Reed to his outside Cullen Gossage. Row number 2 will see Anthony Clark and Kane the Bandit Malberg. Row number 3, the 55 of Chris LaFoy and Evan Rabig. Row number 4, that is Curtis Miller and Tyler Feeblecorn. Row 5, David Kanan and Cody Cooper. Row 6, Mark Lamer, Trent Reed. Row 7, Tyler Stricklet, Tim Cootie, and Dave Malberg, Braxton Wallace round out the field. We are green with the features. Cullen Gossage will take the early advantage from his outside front row start. But here comes Evan Rabig. Rabig started 6th. Now he is going to take the lead. And it is a stack pack behind him. Anthony Clark now to the inside of the 55 of LaFoy. Gives a little shot in the shorts to Gossage. Sorry, that is a 411 of Curtis Miller. Anthony Clark now into third to the outside of LaFoy. LaFoy shuts the door. Evan Rabig leads, Chris LaFoy second. Anthony Clark once again tries to go to the outside of the 55. Not quite able to do it. David Kanan now up into fourth. Kane Malberg rounding out your top 5. Caution is out. Cody Cooper goes off the track of the backstretch. You can see him on the edge of the backstretch, just down towards the entrance to turn 3.
Kevin Crayback, your race leader. Miller running strong. Showed up last week at the Shelby County Speedway.
All right, over the receiver radio system from Lane Pugh in the flag stand. This time by coming out of 4, we are going to go back to green. 1 lap down, 11 laps to go in your IMCA Murder Hornet Sport Compact feature. Evan Rabig leads him out of 4. Green is out. We are back to racing. And it is going to be Chris LaFoy trying to challenge on the outside. He's got help from the 24M of Kane Malberg. Meanwhile, Anthony Clark's going to go to the inside of the 55 of LaFoy. He was at the quarter panel of the leader for just a moment. Then the door got shut. LaFoy trying to get to the outside of Rabig while trying to battle off the advances of Clark. Now Clark going to fall back into third with Malberg to the outside. First, second, third, fourth, and fifth all up for grabs right now as you can throw a blanket over the top 5. Then just a little bit further back from David Kanan sitting in 5th is the 61F of Feeblecorn. Right now it is Rabig. It is LaFoy, Malberg, Clark, and Kanan, your top 5. Ow! We got a big pileup. Mark Lamer hits the wall hard, destroys the right front of his 55L machine. Oh, and now we got a fire under the car. Harlan Fire and Rescue. They are Johnny on the spot out there. Mark Lamer trying to get his belts off. Window net is down, and he is climbing out. Mark Lamer out of the car, lady folks at home, as the Harlan Fire Department is getting the fire extinguisher so they can put the fire out. All right, so they've run him through the speedy dry a couple of times, and now over the receiver, Chief Starter Lane Pugh says next time out of turn number 4, they are going to be green. We are down now 3 laps down, 9 laps to go. 3 down, 9 to go. Your IMCA Sport Compact feature. Evan Rabick's going to lead him out of 4, see the green, and we're back to racing. Rabick with a nice start. As Kane Malberg is now going to go into second. Malberg now going to snug up onto the... Oh, Chris LaFoy around! Chris LaFoy and David Kane around. LaFoy is going to gather it back. Oh, sorry, that is Tim Cootie also went around. Everybody gets back going. No harm, no foul. Unfortunately, Tyler Feeblecorn, the 55 of LaFoy and Cootie, now all in the back of the field. As we got a battle for the lead. Kane Malberg to the outside of Evan Rabick. Rabick now trying to battle back to the inside. It is Malberg with a half a car length advantage as they're going to sail it down into 3 and 4 once again. Coming down to the line, it's going to be new leader Malberg. Rabick in second, but now Rabick under power pressure from Anthony Clark. Clark in third. Rabick tried to shut the door, a little bit of contact. Clark now wisely backs off, stays in third. Look at this, Curtis Miller. He has the 4-1-1 about being in the top 5 as the 4-11 is now into 4th. And David Kanan, your defending track champ, rounds out your top 5. Halfway home, 6 down, 6 to go. Once again, it is Malberg, Rabick, Clark, and David Kanan now battling Curtis Miller for 4th and 5th. Right now, the only battle on the track is that battle for 4th and 5th. Curtis Miller has it. David Kanan wants it. Kanan's going to take over that 4th place spot. Battle for the lead back on. Evan Rabick now to the inside of the 24M of Malberg. Can he get beside that 24M as they come down the front stretch? No, Malberg still with a slight advantage. About a car length at the line. Rabick bobbles into, Malberg starts to pull away just a little bit. They'll be coming down to see 3 laps to go this time by. Oh, Rabick bobbles again. Anthony Clark is going to try and pounce for 2nd spot. They're side by side going into 1. Again, Anthony Clark not able to do what he needs to do on the high side. Rabick's going to retain 2nd. Clark's car likes the high side, but unfortunately, there's not a whole lot there. Low side's where it's at for the compacts. 2 laps to go for Kane Malberg. Once again, Clark going into 1 on the back bumper of Rabick. Tries to go to the high side, gets a little bit sideways. Not able to capitalize right now. As the white flag is going to come out this time by for the 24M, the driver out of Dunlap, Iowa. The car is about 100 years old. It's battered, it's beaten, it's bruised, but it is also fast. Kane Malberg comes out of 2. He's going to go down the backstretch one final time and sail it off down into turn number 3 and 4. Ladies and gentlemen, your first feature winner of the night is going to be the Bandit, Kane Malberg. Evan Rabick at the line will beat out Anthony Clark for 2nd. David Kanan in 4th, and Curtis Miller is going to round out that top 5. You got to give Anthony Clark credit, ladies and gentlemen. He fought and fought Evan Rabick for that 2nd place spot. In the end, just couldn't quite get it done. So as they come out of turn 4 for their parade lap here at the Shelby County Speedway, your IMCA stock cars presented by Pizza Ranch in Harlan are set to do battle for 16 laps with 17 cars making the start. Don't forget tomorrow night here on Advantage Racing TV, We'll be at our usual home of Sunday Church in the Dirt, South Dakota style, the new Raceway Park in Jefferson, South Dakota, for 5 big classes of IMCA action. And as an extra added bonus, we are going to, for the first time ever, go out to Stewart, Nebraska, to the Stewart Raceway out there, as Advantage will have a second crew out there at the Stewart Raceway. So if you can't make it out to either track, make sure you check it out on Advantage Racing TV.
You will hear the RPMs come up.
So as the RPMs come up out of turn number 4, Ritterbusch and Zimmerman are going to drop the green. And it's going to be Ritterbusch with a slight advantage. Mike Stapleton, he is going to go from 4th place spot down to low side, trying to give Ritterbusch a little bit of a bump. They're 4 wide! 4 wide, Van Horn, Knopp, Richards, and Nichols. Oh, we got one over! Oh! Red flag is out. We had a car go over major coming out of turn 2. That appears to be the 12 of Clayton Modernock. Scary barrel roll coming out of 2.
Jeff Atkins into 49 over on his grid.
All right, so red flag has been rescinded. We are going to be going green this time out of turn number 4. Our second attempt at a full start on your IMCA stock car feature presented by Pizza Ranch in Harlan. Ritterbusch and Zimmerman on the front row. We're green. Side by side down to turn number 1 is the front row with 3 wide behind them. It's Richards, it's Hansen, and Mike Stapleton. That's for 3rd, 4th, and 5th right now. Stapleton now with 3rd, trying to find a way to get around Zimmerman. He is actually going to push Zimmerman into the lead. Zimmerman leads lap number 1, Mike Stapleton 2nd. Oh, flying Brian Blessing and way high over the cush. He's going to lose some spots. Meanwhile, they're almost 5 wide coming on 2. Stock cars never fail to put on a show. Zimmerman currently leading. Battle is on for 2nd between Ritterbusch and Stapleton. Mike Harris in 3rd, and it is Mike Stapleton and Dusty Van Horn battling it out for 5th right now. Now it's going to be 3 wide. Ritterbusch to be in the sandwich between Mike Stapleton and Mike Nichols. And caution is out. Car in the middle of turn number 1. That is going to be the number 7 of Tyson Partridge going around at the exit of turn number 1.
Tyson Partridge in that 7th car.
And the rest. Caution lights are out. We're going to be back green this time by 2 laps down, 14 laps to go. IMCA stock car feature presented by Pizza Ranch in Harlan. Who is going to park it down to Monster Graphics Victory Lane? We'll know in 14 short laps. Once again, Paul Zimmerman leads him down to the green. We're back to racing. It's going to be Zimmerman. Mike Stapleton powers himself into the 2nd place spot. Now he's going to try to go to low side as Zimmerman trying to hook it high, wide, and handsome on the Kenny Wallace line. Meanwhile, here comes Mike Nichols. Nichols to 3rd. And now 4th and then 6th up for grabs as it's Ritterbusch, Van Horn, and Harris. Oh, Nichols goes from the high side to the low side. Going to take over 2nd and try to get a 2-for-1 special. New leader Nichols. Mike Nichols goes to the store, gets a 2-for-1 special, and takes the lead. Now it is Stapleton and Zimmerman once again side by side, 2nd and 3rd. Down and dirty, Dusty Van Horn. Now to the outside of Stapleton for 3rd. Mike Harris going to take over that 5th place spot. Nichols now starting to gap the battle for 2nd, which once again is Mike Stapleton. and Paul Zimmerman still side by side. Van Horn sitting in that 4th place spot, and now it is Keith Knopp. Knopp taking over that 5th place spot from Harris. Meanwhile, 7th, 8th, 9th, and 10th up for grabs right now. That is Ritterbusch, Blessington, Richards, and Corey Stapleton. Meanwhile, Mike Nichols just keeps pulling away. Mike Nichols. Oh, Nichols, a little bit of a fire under the car for just a moment, looked like. No visible smoke. We'll keep an eye on it and see if maybe it was just an optical illusion. Caution is out. Once again, that is the 7 of Tyson Partridge in turn number 2. That should end his night, as in the features, if you bring out 2 cautions, you are done for the evening. 49 of Jeff Atkins along with Trent Partridge. And the 54R of Trent Rolled rounding out the field. 9 laps to go. We are 7 laps in, 9 to go. Nichols, the leader, brings them down. Green flag is back out. And it is down to Dirty Dusty Van Horn now at that 2nd place spot. Van Horn, fastest guy on the planet last week, just came up a little bit short in his bid for a victory. As it was the 10X of Keith Knopp, who's now currently trying to battle his way into 3rd, picking up the win. Halfway home, 8 down, 8 to go. Oh, we got a beating, banging, and scattering as Corey Stapleton is going to see the bad end of some cosmetic damage, and caution's going to be out. So they were beating and banging, and Corey Stapleton, unfortunately, going to get the bad end of the stick as he will bring the caution out and have to tag the tail of the field. So as Corey Stapleton takes his spot at the rear of the field. Caution lights go out. We are going to be going green this time by. 8 laps to go here in your stock car feature presented by Pizza Ranch of Harlan. Mike Nichols leads him down under power. Green is out. We're back to racing. It is going to be Dusty Van Horn trying to get by the 10X of Knopp, but Knopp, a little bit better run off the low side. Knopp going to take over that 2nd place spot. Now, Knopp, one of the guys who has been a thorn in the side of the 63 of Mike Nichols. The other one, Dusty Van Horn here at the Shelby County Speedway. Both of them trying to get by the 63. Nichols still leads, Knopp 2nd, Van Horn 3rd, Brian Blessington now in the 4th, Mike Harris up into that 5th place spot. As Knopp's going to try and make a move on the leader. He's got about a half a car length advantage. Dusty Van Horn also in the mix as they go through 3 and 4 this time. Nichols trying to battle back on the high side. It's going to be Knopp by half a car length at the line with 5 to go. Keith Knopp not quite able to clear the 63 of Nichols. Coming out of 2. 3/4 of a car length advantage is all he can muster on the 7-time national champion. Now we got it. New leader Knopp. 4 to go. Keith Knopp, your new leader. Mike Nichols now back in 2nd. The 33 VH down to Dirty Dusty Van Horn sitting 3rd. Brian Blessington in 4th. And Mike Stapleton rounding out that top 5. Three more laps to go. And the battle's back on. Nichols right there, as is Van Horn. Smoke coming out of the 8D of Steyer. But meanwhile, it is side by side up front. Knopp to the low side, Nichols to the high side, 2 laps to go. Once again through 1 and 2. This time Nichols is going to bobble just a little bit. The 10X of Knopp. Uh-oh. And it looks like a caution out for possibly the 54R of Trent Rolled. 8D of Nick Steyer also down on the work lane. The 92B of Blessington and the 10 of Stapleton? Or are one of the other drivers going to manage to get by the 63 of Nichols, the KG Crafty 7-time national champion? We will see here in just 2 laps as they come out of turn 4. We are back to green. Nichols going to lead him down to turn number 1. Knopp right on his back bumper. Nichols bobbles just a little bit, but Knopp not able to capitalize. Meanwhile, Van Horn in third. Battle is on for 4th and 5th. Blessington and Stapleton. Now here comes Knopp. White flag is out there side by side again. Not able to do it. Nichols leads with 1 to go. They go down into 1 and 2. Once again, Knopp going to try and set him up for possibly a power move on the low side. Knopp drives it in deep. Gets to the back bumper, and that's it. Mike Nichols is going to win. Keith Knopp second. Dusty Van Horn third. Brian Blessington fourth. And at the line, Mike Harris beats out Mike Stapleton for 5th.